Welcome to my channel Buzz. When Telly Savalas was 72 years old, he said something amazing. She was the only one who could do that to me. Telly Savalas was born on January 21st, 1922, in Garden City, New York. His real name was Aristotle Telly Savalas. His parents came from Greece and worked very hard. They taught him to be strong and never give up. These lessons helped him later when he became famous. Getting to Hollywood wasn't easy for Telly. He worked many different jobs and even fought in World War II for America. After the war, he went to school at Columbia University, where he studied how people's minds work. Then he worked for the U.S. government before he started acting on TV and in movies. In 1959, Telly got his first real acting job on a TV show called Armstrong Circle Theater. The episode was called And Bring Home a Baby. This show was on CBS and told stories about real things that happened to people. This was perfect for Telly to start his TV career. At this time, not many people knew who he was, and lots of actors wanted the same jobs. But this first role showed that Telly was really good at acting. People could see he was special on camera. This job was the start of his journey from small TV parts to becoming one of Hollywood's most famous faces. Here he learned how to act for TV cameras and got better at being confident as an actor. From 1959 to 1967, Telly appeared on many popular TV shows as a guest star. He was on shows like Naked City, which was about city crime. He was also on medical shows like The 11th Hour and Breaking Point. Crime shows like The Untouchables, The Fugitive, and the FBI had him too. He even appeared on cowboy shows like Bonanza and spy shows like The Man from UNCLE. Each time he was on TV, he tried playing different types of characters. He played bad guys and good guys and showed he could get people's attention even when he was only on screen for a little while. During this time, Telly got better at acting and learned how to show feelings like being tough, charming, and a little scary. One of Telly's early jobs was playing Brother Hendrickson on a show called 77 Sunset Strip. This show was about two cool private detectives who solved crimes in Los Angeles. The show mixed mystery, excitement, and funny parts together. Playing Brother Hendrickson let Telly show he could be serious and funny at the same time. This skill helped him get bigger and better roles later. He also appeared on a show called Acapulco, which was on NBC. This show was about adventures in exciting places around the world. Being on this show helped Telly learn how to act in many different types of stories, from city dramas to action adventures. Telly always worked hard to make his characters seem real and put lots of effort into every role he played. Telly really showed how serious he was about acting when he played Pontius Pilate in a 1965 movie called The Greatest Story Ever Told. This movie was directed by a famous filmmaker named George Stevens. For this role, Telly made a big decision. He shaved off all his hair to look bald. This became one of the things he was most famous for. This choice showed that he would do anything to make his character look right, even if it meant changing how he looked. Playing Pontius Pilate was important because this character had to make hard decisions in the story about Jesus. Telly had to show he was powerful, confused about what was right, and very serious. This role proved he could handle big movie parts, not just TV shows. This performance helped him move from TV actor to movie star. Telly started acting when he was older than most actors, but once he began, he got famous pretty quickly. In the early 1960s, he usually played supporting characters in movies and TV shows. Most of the time, he played tough guys or bad guys because he had a deep voice and could stare really intensely. His performances in movies like The Young Savages in 1961 and Birdman of Alcatraz in 1962 were really good. The second movie even got him nominated for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. These roles showed that Telly could make even mean or complicated characters seem like real people with feelings. He continued to act in more movies during the 1960s with important parts in The Dirty Dozen in 1967, Kelly's Heroes in 1970, and On Her Majesty's Secret Service in 1969. In the James Bond movie, he played Ernst Stavro Blofeld, one of Bond's most famous enemies. But it was TV that really made Telly famous all over the world. In 1973, he started playing a character named Theo Kojak, a New York City police detective on a CBS crime show called Kojak. The show ran for 5 seasons until 1978 and made him an international star. Telly's character always had a lollipop in his mouth, wore stylish clothes, and said the famous line, "Who loves ya, baby?" This character became one of the most remembered characters in American TV history. Kojak wasn't just fun to watch, it was also groundbreaking because it showed real problems like drug abuse, corruption, and poverty. The role won him both an Emmy Award and a Golden Globe, making him one of the most respected actors of his time. Even after the show ended, Telly played Kojak again in several TV movies, proving that people still loved the character. Besides acting, Telly also made music. His deep, smooth voice made him an unexpected singing star, especially in Europe where people loved his spoken word and singing albums. His version of the song, "If" by Bread, done in his special style, even reached #1 on the UK singles chart in 1975. This showed that people liked him for more than just acting. Telly had a special way of connecting with people, not just through TV and movies, but through his voice, which was warm and different from the tough guys he often played on screen. In 1948, Telly married his longtime girlfriend, Catherine Nicolites. They had known each other for a long time before they got married. Their relationship showed what people expected marriages to be like back then, stable, and focused on building a family together after finishing school and growing up. Even though they loved each other and had a lot in common, their marriage had problems that they couldn't fix. They got divorced in 1957 after being married for almost 10 years. This first experience with love and breakup probably had a big impact on Telly and changed how he thought about relationships and family life. In 1960, Telly married his second wife, Marilyn Gardner. She was a theater teacher who loved arts and education, which went well with Telly's growing interest in acting and entertainment. They had 2 children together, creating a family that mixed creativity, discipline, and big dreams. The couple tried to handle the pressure of Telly's growing acting career in Hollywood while keeping their family life private and special. Even though they both worked hard and loved their children, they had differences and personal problems that grew over time. This led to their divorce in 1974. This time in Telly's life showed how hard it was to have a famous career, while also taking care of a family. It also showed that he could love deeply, even when things got difficult. In 1984, Telly married his third wife, Julie Hovland. This marriage marked a new part of his personal life that was more stable and committed. Together, they had 2 children, which made Telly a father again and showed how important family was to him in his later years. This marriage showed that Telly had learned from his past relationships. Julie became a supportive partner as Telly continued his acting career, including his famous work on television. She also provided a loving home environment for their children. Their life together showed that Telly could still have meaningful relationships and highlighted how his personal life had grown and changed. It showed his strength, ability to bounce back, and his search for happiness with a family he loved very much. When Telly was 72 years old, the famous actor known for his bald head and rough voice opened up about something very personal. He talked about the one person who could really touch his heart. "She was the only one who could do that to me," Telly said. His voice showed respect, memories of the past, and clear love. This admission surprised many fans because throughout his career, Telly was seen as a tough, no-nonsense person. People knew him from his legendary role as Kojak on TV and from countless movies where he played authority figures, detectives, or gangsters. But here he showed a softer, more sensitive side that few people had ever seen before. The woman he was talking about was Stefanie Powers, who was also a successful actress with a bright charm and magnetic personality. She had clearly left a lasting impression on him. Telly went on to describe her unique ability to break through his famously tough exterior. "No one else ever managed to touch me like she did," he said, thinking about the rare emotional closeness he shared with her. He remembered moments that showed her special impact on his life. These moments were filled with laughter, unexpected gentleness, and conversations that moved him deeply. For someone like Telly, who spent decades showing confidence and control, admitting that someone could affect him so deeply was both a surprise and proof of Power's influence on his heart and mind. He also talked about how complex their relationship was, emphasizing that it wasn't just romantic or shallow, but based on real understanding and respect. "She could see right through me," he admitted. "She knew when I was putting up walls, when I was being my usual tough guy, and yet she never backed down. She had this way of making me feel completely seen, completely understood. For a man whose image was defined by strength and independence, these words showed rare vulnerability. They showed that despite his fame, awards, and larger-than-life public image, there were times when he needed human connection to feel truly alive. Telly's comments also hinted at the bigger theme of closeness and trust, especially in the lives of people who are constantly in the public eye. For an actor constantly surrounded by fans, co-workers, and admirers, finding someone who could genuinely break through the armor he had built over decades was extraordinary. It wasn't just about love or admiration, he thought. It was something deeper, something that made me feel like I could finally drop the act and just be Telly, the real me. His confession, while short in words, was huge in meaning. It offered a rare look into the private emotional world of one of Hollywood's most powerful personalities. Finally, the moment had a bittersweet feeling, recognizing that these rare connections don't last forever. Even as Telly spoke, there was sadness in his voice, a subtle recognition that such experiences are precious, rare, and often temporary. "I don't think I'll ever meet anyone like her again," he admitted. "No one else could ever have that effect on me." In these few sentences, Telly revealed not just a personal truth about his connection to Stephanie Powers, but also a universal truth about love, vulnerability, and the extraordinary impact one person can have on a lifetime. Telly Savalas died on January 22, 1994, at the age of 72, after a long battle with complications from both prostate and bladder cancer. His death happened at the Sheraton Universal Hotel in Universal City, California, a place that had become more than just a temporary home for him. It was his home for the last 20 years of his life. Over those 20 years, Telly became a permanent presence at the hotel, going to its bar and social spaces so regularly that the hotel honored him by renaming the bar Telly's. This tribute showed not only his consistent presence but also the warmth, charisma, and larger-than-life personality that made him loved by hotel staff, customers, and the many friends who would meet there. The Sheraton became almost like a stage for Telly in his later years, where he kept the charm and magnetism that had made him a household name through television and film. After his death, Telly was buried at the George Washington section of Forest Lawn Hollywood Hills Cemetery, located in Los Angeles, California. This cemetery is famous as the final resting place of many stars from Hollywood's golden age, and Telly's burial there showed his importance in the entertainment world. His funeral was a deeply personal and emotional event held at the St. Sophia Greek Orthodox Church. This location showed Telly's pride in his Greek heritage and his lifelong connection to the Greek Orthodox faith. Present at the funeral was his third wife, Julie, who had shared the final decade of his life, along with his brother Gus, providing family support and honoring the bond they had shared throughout their lives. Telly's first two wives, Catherine and Marilyn, also attended the service, along with their children, showing the lasting connections he kept with his extended family despite past divorces.